Welcome to the next segment of Racers Reviews of Fine Malt Liquor. Today we're going to have ST Ides, certainly one of my favorites. You can see we have a fire here, and of course naturally the wind turns right into me as I start to record this. So let's crack her open and get started. I'm here of course with my partner, the driver, and we're going to enjoy this. Alright, well I like that already. The ring actually parted from the from the cap, and that was a pretty good hiss. So let's see how this first taste is. Beautiful. I've always thought ST Ides was one of the finer high gravity malt liquors out there. Oh yeah, we're probably gonna have to burp with this one, unlike the Molson Ice with the largemouth. So excuse me in advance for that. ST Ides always has a pretty decent taste, starting out. We're going to cheat again. Let the driver have just a sip, not half of it, like one of the crew members said. Yeah, the driver drank half of it there. As you can see, I have a thing for outdoor drinking. I guess it goes back to my youth. There's nothing like drinking in the great outdoors. Don't want to go down to downtown Louisville right now. I'm standing on a street corner, so. Yeah, nice little fire here, and ST Ides 40. What can you say, right?
There you go.
I was hoping to get some snappy commentary out of the driver here right now, but kind of like the video with Shoddy and Quack. That's that was some pretty snappy. It's like watching Doug and Bob redone. We talked about Doug and Bob last time, and certainly you're not a big fan of them.
No, not at all.
ST Ides has always been kind of a unique ghetto-type beer to me. I've fooled people that it was a fancy import when you pour it in a glass, because you can see when it's not chilled too much, it does have a pretty decent color to it. It doesn't foam up too much. What can I say? It's hovering around 45 right here. There's still bugs flying around outside. I can't believe that. But I was hoping this fire might chase them away. I guess we're not doing so good on that, huh?
Not bad.
I don't know. What do you think of the ST Ides?
I like the ST Ides. It has a mellow flavor.
It's something you're not going to hear about too many malt guys, is a mellow flavor, but I happen to agree with her. Unlike a lot of the, when you get over 8% alcohol by volume, a lot of times you have a very harsh alcohol taste. I think the Camo family of brands certainly has a horrible taste. It doesn't sneak up on you. It hits you like a sledgehammer right off the bat. Of course, my favorite is naturally Hurricane High Gravity. Then on the other hand, that's like to me the Velvet Hammer. That stuff tastes so good that you hardly even know you're drinking anything. Right about to the point where you pass out. I mean, it's that good. I would highly not recommend that for beginning drinkers, because they would you can get in a lot of trouble with that in a hurry. I mean, even in 24-ounce cans, which is all we can get around here. A little bit of a burp. We'll keep going here. We put all the Halloween stuff away this morning, neatly boxed up, and that's so we can actually find it next year, not go through a search. And we got all the Christmas stuff out. That's kind of a new thing we're trying, is to actually have everything ready to go for holidays, then not go to the store and buy stuff, then come home and 2 days later find it, and then not be able to find it the next year anyway. So we're trying to get out of that habit.
It's a good habit to get out of.
Gotta say, I was happy to see on the message board that DC40s found this. and he's going to get involved in here. I guarantee that his videos will certainly take the lead as far as being filmed in unique locations, and that my vote is for one on the Metro Rail, but I know how tough it is to eat French fries on the Metro Rail in D.C. So please don't try that on my account, and then call me and say can you show up with bail or something like that. But near a metro station or something like that, that's certainly a good pose for that. A lot of good backgrounds to drink in our nation's capital.
Yeah.
As we work through this stuff is still pretty smooth, even as we're about 2/3 of the way through with it. I mean, St. Ides is really smooth. Now, there's been some talk about the St. Ides Special Brews on the 40-ounce crew board. Yeah, I personally don't think they taste bad. What do you think?
I like them. I think they're great tasting, especially for people who don't like the rough taste of beer.
Yeah, one of the guys said they were like a ghetto equivalent between Boone's Farm and oh God, I forgot what else, but he kind of hit that on the head. I mean, they are. I mean, I remember you used to like those Matilda Bay wine coolers that Miller made. They were a malt beverage, of course.
Yes.
Even though they faked that they were wine coolers at the time. Man, they were all right too. You can do a lot with malt beverage. It's not all about just beer. You can do a lot with it. So, but we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about St. Ides High Gravity Malt Liquor, which is, like I said, I think it can almost fool you off as an import compared to Steel. Another one. That's not bad. Steel 211 Black, the triple export. That's a good one. You like that?
That's my favorite. Love the 211 Black.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to get the driver here to do a video with a Steel 211 Black. I think if she did it, I think we could grant a few more than the 10-minute rule for her. We'd have to edit the tape so we could load it up on YouTube. Maybe cut out. Remember, on the old Notre Dame football broadcast they used to have on Sunday morning, they'd skip large portions of the game to fit the game in 30 minutes and go, after a few exchanges of the ball, nothing happened, and now we're back to Notre Dame with the ball on the 38. Of course, this year Notre Dame sucks. I don't know if any of you guys watched the LSU-Arkansas game last night. Probably doesn't mean anything. Maybe to 40-ounce Noel, but I don't think he even cares about that. I actually enjoyed watching Arkansas win just because I like seeing #1 teams get knocked off. Unless it's my team, of course, it's #1. And since that's not going to happen for a long time with the University of Buffalo, especially now that Tom Callahan got fired in Nebraska, they're probably going to hire Turner Gill to coach up there. And I'm sorry if he leaves. I'm sorry to see him leave, but he's a good man. He's taken Buffalo from being a laughingstock to, at least for people said, geez, we got to play these guys. So I wish him luck. I'll even a salute to Turner Gill. Here's to you, my man. Okay, we're getting down to it right here, and one of the beauties of drinking outdoors on a 45-degree day is that the swill probably won't get too warm, so it's not like you got to choke down this swill. And of course, we've gone over care and drinking before, and by not foaming the stuff up all the time, it still resembles beer. I could pour this for somebody and they'd probably be okay. God, you got to love that crooked eye in the back, don't you?
Yeah.
According to Alfred coach Powell, that's supposed to be like a condom. Can you believe that?
It figures.
I mean, that man. Here's one to the coach. I gotta salute the coach right here. This one's to you, my man. They don't just sell it in the hoods, my friend. Well, there we go. Now, I suppose this is the time that I'm probably supposed to go off scene and hurl into a garbage can or something like that. That's not going to happen here today. I'm a little disturbed about that with a couple of guys. I think you guys need to work on your talents a little bit, before you try again. What do you think?
Yeah,
the driver